Hi everyone, it's Emmys. I'm going to show you today how to make this cute gift card holder in a little Matchbox, and when you open it up the gift card holder pops up with space to write a message on the back and a little shelf under which you can tuck some candies, chocolate, a pair of earrings, bangle, any little gift to add to the gift card, and it slots nicely into the sleeve. There's quite a lot to go through, so I'm putting most of the measurements up on screen so that grab a pen and paper and you can jot them down as we go along so that you haven't got to keep going backwards and forwards. First of all, you need a piece of cardstock for the drawer, which is 7 3/4 inches by 9 1/8. Next, for the shelf, you need a piece 4 5/8 by 6 inches. All the measurements are in inches, by the way. Next, for the gift card pocket, you need a pattern paper which is 3 3/8 by 7 inches. For the sleeve, you need a piece that's 4 1/4 by 8 3/4. For the little message panel, you need a piece of 2 1/2 by 3 3/4. And to go on top of that, to write your message, you need a piece 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. And lastly, you need a piece of acetate. This needs to be quite a firm acetate, not a floppy transparency. And you need to cut that to 2 1/4 by 3. Now to start, I've scored the drawer at 1 1/4 and 2 1/2 on all 4 edges, so all the way round, and that leaves you with 4 squares in the corner. I've marked, you can see on the right hand side that I've marked some so that you can see where to cut, and basically you're going to cut these 3 outer corners away, and that leaves you with a piece looking like this. Sharpen all the folds. I've punched a hole in that end flap there, punched 2 holes with a crocodile, and I'm just going to thread some ribbon through it and secure it. I'm just going to use some red tape for quickness. I probably would use a glue gun or something that would hold it very securely, but I'm very conscious of the time constraints of this rather long video. Next, you need to put some glue to the 4 flaps. And then you can fold your box together. If you just have a look at it, it sort of becomes obvious what you're going to do. I'm starting with the long sides, tucking the flaps in, folding the flap over, and once you've done one side, the rest of it really just comes together. And because the tape, the glue is already on there, it's quite quick to do. So that's the little shelf finished. Next we move on to the shelf, which I'm going to score on all sides at 1 inch. So that's 1 inch down each side. So again, you're left with a little square in each corner, and I'm just going to cut those squares on one side up to the fold line. I'm just taking a little wedge out of them so that they'll fold more easily. And you do that on all four corners, just slice away at the little square to create a little fold. Then attach some red tape, as you can see here, and you pretty much put the box together in the same way as the last one. The flaps just fold in. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting the red tape. I should have used a craft knife or something to help it on its way. But it's a question of more haste, less speed. There was such a lot to do in this video, and I was so conscious of the time constraints that I got a bit fumbly. And again, because I was in a hurry, I actually put the little fold-overs on the outside of the box. It doesn't matter because the shelf, that's going to be hidden anyway. But for neatness, I would tape it so that those little flaps were on the inside. So that's the shelf completed. And next we move on to the gift card pocket, and you will be bemused to see that I'm using a totally different piece of paper. This is because my original bit of video doing this, you'll have to excuse my shoulder, totally disappeared. Poof, it went like a magic carpet. It flew off somewhere. So I've folded it in the middle and I've scored it 1/2 inch down the long sides on each end. And I'm just going to cut up those long strips, 1/2 inch strips. So you score down the middle at 3 inches and then 1/2 inch on each side. And I'm just going to cut each of those away to the centre fold, and that leaves flaps on one side. And that's what you put the glue on. And then simply fold the other piece up and fold the flaps over. And there you have your gift card pocket. Take a 1 inch punch and just cut a little notch in the top. Now for the acetate, I've folded that in half, and I'm just going to apply some red tape so that you can see where to put it basically. Put it on one side of the fold along the two longer ends, the two longer sides rather. And then you're going to attach it to the back of your gift card holder so that the fold is right at the bottom. So glue it on like so. You've got the fold at the bottom and you've got the other loose flap unglued I hope that I've managed to show this okay. That shows it. So you've got that little piece sticking up and you've got it firmly glued to the gift card pocket on the one side. So you then attach glue to the other side and you pop it onto your shelf. And then you can attach your message panel. Excuse me, and it's all ready to go into the box, except that I've put it in the wrong way around. It goes that way. Now next, for the sleeve, again I wasn't able to, for some reason, put the scoring measurements, so I'm going to repeat these slowly so that you can write them down. You need to score it on the wrong side at 2 inches, 3 1/4 inch, 6 1/8, and 7 3/8. I repeat those: 2 inches, 3 1/4, 6 1/8, and 7 3/8. And then sharpen all the folds. Then just attach glue onto one short end and fold the other end over to meet it. And your sleeve is done. And you can just, sorry I went off camera here, you can just slide the shelf right into it. And all that's left to do now is to decorate it. I'm sorry about the shadows, the light was fading. So I've used a lawn fawn stamp set called Hippo Birdie, and I coloured it with pro markers and I've mounted it onto a nestability circle, and I'm attaching that with foam pads onto the front of the box. And I've stamped the sentiment, which says Hippo Birdie, onto a long strip of paper that I've scored so that it'll form a banner shape. And I'm just going to put some glue on the flat sides, and in the middle I've put 3 layers of foam tape so that it'll stick down, because the sides are it's higher than the sides, if you know what I mean. And I totally forgot to cut little V's in the end to make the banner shape, so all that's left now is to pop something on the inside. And again I use the same stamp set, any small image stamp set, or you could use flowers, whatever, depending on the age of the recipient. It's simple. I just put some glossy accents on the balloons, and this will be a gift card holder for a child. So that's it. Oh, and don't use foam pads on the inside decoration, otherwise the box won't close. So I do hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial and that you'll have fun making these. I hope I've made it clear what the steps that you need to do, and have fun making them, and I'd love to see or hear about your creations. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.